How many of you wish you had Ed's traits? Maybe not so much the corny dad jokes, but the energy, the enthusiasm, and the positive attitude Ed exudes is infectious, not in a bad way. Ed is an engaging speaker and has given talks to crowds of 10,000 and to people in the Georgia Dome and groups as small as 4 seniors in a local senior center. Ed Fox is never boring, I can promise you that. Ed is happily married to Alice, and they have 3 children, Jason, Brandon, and Ashlyn, and 2 unofficially adopted children in Pravjit and Aki. Ed started his first business at age 15. Today he's going to share with us why cash is king, but barter is smarter. Ed Fox. Great to see you.
Thanks, Anna. That was really well read. I really appreciate that. And good energy too, and that's why I picked Jana to do that. My name's Ed Fox, and I'm the owner of Tradebank of Nashville. And my story, my romantic story, beats all y'all's. Did I use that right? All y'all. Being from the deep south, I'm trying to learn to speak northerner, right? So, southern hemisphere. Tomorrow, my wonderful wife and I will have been married 32 years. I was minding my own business, as you can imagine, being quiet and reserved in a duty-free store. If you're not sure what a duty-free store is, international travelers can go in and buy their stuff at a discount. She walks up to me, all 5 foot nothing of her, and she tilts her head and looks at me. I'm 22, got a mullet, big belly. She says, you spent so long flirting with them 2 Kiwi girls, New Zealand girls, that I think you made me miss my bus for dinner, and even if you didn't, you should take me out. And I'm like, I've heard of pushy American women. Now I've met one. I said, why me? I might sound like Mel Gibson, but I sure don't look like him. This is 1989 when Mel Gibson was hot. Now we look about the same. So there you go. Age, man. So she says, no, but you're funny. I said, funny peculiar or funny ha-ha? She said, yes. I said, okay, I'll take you on a date. And, I ended up here a year later, married for 32 years. She was good on the follow-up. So that's my romantic story. We're sort of like 2 old oars, romantic. Yeah, that's what I do. Thank you very much. So Tradebank. You all totally understand and get how Tradebank works, right? No. You don't have to. It took me 3 years. I owned the business for 3 years in Wichita before I understood how Tradebank works. Actually, let's hold off on that for a second, if you would, while you find that. Okay, so how does Tradebank work? Tradebank is a business-to-business barter exchange that most businesses don't even know exists. Imagine you've got a pair of glasses, and when you put them on, you can see all this money lying on the table that the business owner doesn't even know is there. It's found money. That's what Tradebank does. When they fill up their bucket full of business, okay, and this is their business full bucket, and you can see little gaps in here. If you've got gaps in your teeth, you go talk to Kelly, right? If you've got gaps in your insurance coverage, you talk to one of the insurance guys. If you've got gaps in your roof, that means it's leaking, and you talk to Bo up there. But if you've got business gaps where you have unsold capacity or unsold inventory, unused capacity, what do? Well, what you do is you do this without trying to spill them all over the floor like I did when Let's say you need a handful of new business to fill in the gaps. Okay? Sometimes, you lose customers or you just don't make the deal happen and they go all over the place. But imagine a business that has excess capacity. Think restaurants. Think anybody that books an appointment. Think dentists, orthodontists, LASIK surgeons, podiatrists, proctologists. No, we don't want to think about proctologists. But think about being able to fill in their gaps with new business. This brings them customers that they would never otherwise see. That's what Tradebank does. Tradebank is out there. We have a network of 4,500 businesses across the nation. We have about 350 local clients here in Nashville, and we're able to bring them business that they would never otherwise see. I use Ryan for an example a lot. He joined Tradebank in 2005, before I'd even heard of it, and he's done over $200,000 in new business through Tradebank. Ryan, have we filled in a few of your gaps? Yes. Imagine that, $200,000 in business that he would have never have seen if he hadn't been a Tradebank member. Tony, we had Tony Bradshaw come on as a Tradebank client, and we were able to sell VIP tickets to his last event on Trade. And we kept filling up those gaps. You're getting the point of how Tradebank works? The whole idea is to fill in the gaps of the business. So if they're a restaurant and they've got a four-top that's not full on a Tuesday night, I can get them revenue. What's their cost of their wholesale dollar? That's when we get to the water and the hot dog story. You can go to the store and you can buy a case of water for about, what, $4? About 10 cents a bottle. But if you go to a festival or a convenience store, what are you paying? $1?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, depending on what festival or what convenience store, right? When you go and you buy a hot dog, what are you paying for a hot dog? You go to you don't have quick shops, what do you have? Yeah, so what, a couple of bucks? Okay, so I've got a hot dog vendor in Tradebank and he's thirsty. He says, hey, can I trade a hot dog for some water? I go find a water vendor and say, hey, I've got a guy that's got a hot dog store. He's trying to trade some hot dogs for some water. Are you interested? Well, sure, I'm starving, mate. Starving. Must have been Aussie. He says, yeah, I'll take a hot dog for a bottle of water. Why? Why would he rather trade a bottle of water for a hot dog instead of paying the $2 to $3 for the hot dog?
2 minutes.
Because the bottle of water only cost him 10 cents. So he's getting a $2 hot dog for 10 cents. That's business that he would have never have had, keeping cash in your pocket. If a restaurant owner's got a 30% food cost and he does $100 worth of trade, his cost on that is 30%. Brings Tradebank into the mix and brings in more business, sells gift cards over Christmas, I want a 12% commission. So now he's got a 42-cent dollar. So if he can spend 42-cent dollars, imagine a briefcase full of dollar bills that your business owner friends could have at less than 50 cents on the dollar. That's why, if I gave you the option to go to a restaurant and say, look, there's $100 cash or $100 trade. Whatever we don't spend, you keep. Are you going to keep the fake money or are you going to keep the cash? Because you think cash is king. When in fact, what you've actually told me is, well, it's smarter for me to spend barter and keep the cash for stuff I want. That's why I want to be referred to your business owners. These are the types of categories that we're looking for.
Member industries include accounting, advertising, attorneys, automotive, awards and trophies, bail bondsmen, business consulting, car and
These are all members I have in Wichita.
Chambers of commerce, chemicals and cleaning products, children's camps, chiropractors, cleaning services, coffee shops, computer repairs and sales, cookies, custom pitching framing, document shredding and storage, dry cleaning, electricians, entertainment, eye doctors, fireplaces, fire pits and stoves, first aid classes, garage door service and repair, hair salons, handyman service, hotel accommodation, HVAC.
I think you get the point. That'll do. Thank you. It goes on and on and on. And these are all current clients I have in Wichita. Haven't built this one for Nashville yet, but it's a similar look. Imagine being able to trade your wholesale cost product, or business owners, you know, their wholesale cost product for things they want and need without spending cash. Think about what your wholesale cost product is. Think about what you could trade for. Vacations, Ryan can talk to you about all the vacations he's taken on trade. I can keep this in, we'd spill it. Imagine filling that up, filling in all your gaps. Okay, that's what I can do. Good referrals for me. Next slide, please. This is a good testimonial. We helped a non-profit chamber of service bring in a bunch of donations. Next slide, please. Social media lady was on a different barter exchange for about 3 years, I think she said. She got no business for them. We brought her $2,500 in 3 weeks. Next slide, please. I'm looking for referrals to medical, media, restaurants, and services. If you look in your goodie bag, I could use a hand. So I gave you one. In it, if you unroll it, is the scroll of Edward. What I'm asking to be done is you don't have to understand Tradebank, but do you think I'm going to treat your clients and your referrals well? If so, if you know me, like me, and trust me, I just ask that you edify me. Ed Fox with Tradebank. And if they're wearing their barter glasses, they'll see all the money they're leaving lying around. Thanks a lot.
Great job, John.